Well, folks, many have described this wonderful platform as that of a wrestling media revolution. I just did it a second ago. Bob does it often to me via text. We are here to talk about AEW Revolution 2022, a critically acclaimed pay per view event. We have much to discuss. I believe we have 12 matches to get to talk about, right? But first, I will introduce, as always, my all star teammates here. Bobby, your second show of the day. You were a solo man earlier, popping huge. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, man. I'm tired, but excited to be here.
Now, I would be I'd be foolish not to mention the controversy surrounding your name right now, Bob, wouldn't I?
Yes.
Would you like to make any kind of statement on admitting to a federal crime on Twitter.com?
Not at this time, no.
Okay, is that something we can expect in the coming days?
Yes.
Okay. The Oracle of Wrestling, a man that, as this show concluded, told me that a certain match was the 11th best on the show, and I screamed laughing. It made me so happy. How are you, my friend?
I'm well. Lots to talk about tonight. There were 5 moments, but there were 3 in particular that had me leaping from my couch and screaming and pumping my fist wildly. Mm-hmm. We will break those down when we get to them.
We sure will, buddy.
Yes,
we sure will. Yeah, there was a couple of moments that had me full like wrestling is back. All fucking hell, I was very excited. Jaychele, allegedly less excited, but you're here anyway. How are you on this wonderful Monday evening? There you go. Portraying the role of Bob O'Neill tonight is Jaychele Nicole.
Wrong, okay, Payshell. I'm Payshell today.
Is that what we're calling you now after the big payday this week?
Yeah. Payshell.
Folks, you should go to Jaychele's channel and watch our predictions. We got everything right, didn't we, Jaychele? We got everything right. And along the way, I gave many podcasting tips if you want to get into the business. I've worked the biggest shows of biggest stadiums, so I know what I'm talking about. Go watch that. But let's talk about Revolution. And let's go match by match, because usually we kind of float around, but there's too many matches to do here. I feel like it would be chaos. So let's just go in straight line, in order, traditional review style. Right, Bobby?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I predicted on the Late Night Grin and on Jaychele's program the best women's match of the night would in fact be Layla Hirsch and Chris Statlander, and I would say I was proven correct in that sense. I think Oracle may have another candidate that he will offer later, and we'll get into that. But I really, really enjoyed the match. I thought they rocked it. Shame there wasn't more put in the building, but it was, you could tell people were struggling to get in. It was packed. The lines were huge, supposedly. So that was a slight shame, but I thought the finish was perfect. I thought both women looked great. I honestly think they're two of my favorite women in this whole division to watch. They're both so consistently fun to watch, man. Mm-hmm. Just enjoyable stuff. Hopefully they get a stip match up next. Big time thumbs up, though, for Layla and Chris here. Jaychele, what did you think?
Oh, this was one of my favorite matches of the night. I love Chris Statlander. I was a big fan of Layla Hirsch when she was just working on Dark and stuff. I wish that when she had her match with Jade that they would have gave her more. But I'm excited to see that she's going to be in a title picture now. Moving forward, she's going to have an amazing match with Rosa that Rosa will care about, but we'll get there later. So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there later. Bobby, your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was really good, man. I liked it. I think more than the other 2 women's matches. I don't recall ever seeing a turnbuckle being used like that as a finish, so that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like both of them a lot. I'm looking forward to Layla and Rosa, and whatever they're going to do next with Chris Statlander, if they go back to this or whatever, that's fine too.
Oracle, I think you were right alongside me in my kind of optimism for this one. What did you think, pal?
Yeah, this was certainly the best women's match of the night. I liked one of the other 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the one that I liked?
Probably. Because the other one was just awful, god awful. And we'll talk about it. But
good God. I can't wait to take a victory lap when we get there. I'm gonna be so excited. Joe.
Yeah, I know it's coming. Oracle's he was heated about this, so we'll talk about it. But that's many matches away. So go ahead, Oracle.
This was excellent. This was about what I expected. I was very satisfied with this. They just, I don't know. It's just they seemed to have good chemistry.
Yeah.
They really did a good job of like pacing and building upon each spot and stuff in the match. I like the finish. I've enjoyed this feud. Seems like we'll probably get a Layla and Red Velvet. Didn't they have a match or earlier, like a few weeks back? They'll probably have another match. So it seems like we'll probably get that again after the Thunder Rosa match. This coming week we'll probably get another, and then we'll get a blow-off match of some kind. It seems in the next month. But yeah, this was terrific. I really enjoyed it.
Need more of both these women on TV, right? In terms of actual matches. I mean, pre-tapes are great, but we need to.
Layla's just, she's so fun to watch in the ring.
Yeah,
she climbs ropes like a monkey.
I love that spot. Her moonsault deal where she actually that's such a great storytelling deal.
Mm-hmm.
Great tool for stories, especially when she's a babyface.
And Chris is she's probably should be really pushed and used a lot more. She's just Layla's just a really good workhorse, but Chris is like a star.
Yeah. I still think she's the woman to beat Jade. I really do. Yeah. She's physically that makes the most sense to me. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Up next on the pre-show was Hook and QT, and I think we kind of
Oracle. Talk about Don Callis.
Oh, very good, Jaychele. Once again,
I don't have notes.
I'm sorry to hear that. Let's talk about Don. They did the teaser Kenny. The place went crazy for the idea that Kenny was going to be there, by the way. And Don did a heel promo, and it's hard not to believe that Kenny is coming soon, right? And with what happened later with Adam Cole, I think we can all see where the pieces are. Jaychele, seeing as you have notes, any thoughts on Don Callis' promo? Would you rather not talk about Don Callis?
I wrote. Don't get me in trouble, Joe.
No, well,
I wrote.
I would never do that.
I was so fucking excited. Fuck. So many middle fingers. You people promo.
It wasn't. It was a true you people promo too, right? He went full you people. I mean, his delivery is great. Bobby, any thoughts on Don?
No, it was good. I mean, it kind of feels like Kenny will be coming back soon, even though I think we all agree, if he's ready, it's fine, but they don't need him right now. But I mean, I won't complain about him coming back, but yeah.
Picked him first in the draft, lest we forget, Bobby. That was an iconic moment in wrestling history. Oracle, did you pump your fist when it wasn't Kenny Omega?
I just sort
that would have been incredible.
I just kind of was like, oh yeah, it's the guy who was like Cyrus on ACW when I was a kid. But it was actually a good promo. Callis is a good promo. It was fine. I think it was kind of one of those teaser for things to come here in the next few months. I also think it was also like one of those red herrings that they do sometimes where they're like, maybe Kenny will show up in the main event, and just one of those deals. It's just kind of a teaser.
I really love the increase in live content on the buy-in. This was very different to any buy-in they've ever done.
It was really like an episode of Rampage. A lot of people were saying that on their Twitter, and I think that's a good comparison.
Last week's we talked about this on the Grin. The buy-in traditionally has been half an hour of countdown footage to the ring for one match, and then more countdown footage, and then live. And it's this was. I think this is going to be the new norm. Don't you? Moving forward with how big the roster is, and Oracle, you laid that out on Friday. So, yes, Hook, QT Marshall. I think Oracle and I, if we were patting ourselves on the back here, pal, because we got some stuff wrong, certainly. I think we about produced this match, didn't we? This was the length the cut-off was about. I think I said an eye poke, and instead it was to the throat, I think was what QT did. But the setup was the same. They wanted to give this a little bit and just get Hook comfortable out there, bumping and selling for a little bit. Ultimately, the inevitable happened pretty quick. Oracle, thoughts on this kind of extended squash, slightly extended squash?
Yeah, first of all, this will be the first of many times I'd like to say I'd like to say thank you to Tony Khan for watching the Late Night Grin, and I'm also I will be expecting my paycheck for booking the matches and producing the matches.
Oracle.
I really appreciate that though. But no. In all seriousness, this was good. I liked QT actually working as like the heel he should be instead of like working even with CM Punk for 12 minutes on Dynamite.
Yeah.
He was like taking cheap shots and stalling and doing things that a heel at his level should be doing. And it made for a much more fun match, and it made it elevated the match where otherwise if it had gone 5 minutes and they'd done other things, I think it may have been a mistake. They didn't do that here. This kind of felt like when Taz would wrestle like a Hack Myers or somebody on ECW, and because I mean honestly, Hook wrestles just like his dad in terms of the spots. So like it was very similarly laid out to something like that, but of course Taz was a heel at the time, and Hook's a babyface. But yeah, this was good. This was good. Very, very enjoyable. I love Hook. Just my favorite thing is he pulls the Goldberg and he just leaves when he wins. That's I think my favorite thing about him.
Shout out to Josh in the chat. It says Hook's body punch in the corner. This is the best they've ever looked, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that shit was tight. It looked great. Jaychele, you're a big Hook fan. Did this work for you?
I mean, I'm 17, so of course it did. But to read my notes,
okay.
I said, QT's thighs make me chuckle. Pay-per-view Hook.
Wait, what does that mean?
His thighs are big and it's funny.
Oh, it's just funny? Okay, yeah. Fair. Right.
Pay-per-view Hook is everything with the heart. Boy, what are they going to do with Hook this year? Because he's very smooth and very over. Why does QT touch his pants so much? Hook has
the thighs. They're tight. Those 2 points are linked, Jaychele. You should have done the maths on that one.
Sorry, I apologize.
That's fine.
Hook has a great Northern Light suplex.
Factual.
Bragging about lacrosse is hilarious, and I enjoyed the quick tap out and the sell.
Fair. I like your question there. It's a good one. I think it's something we can all talk about more at some point. How do they pace this Hook push and not lose its momentum? Yeah, factual. There you go. Not lose its momentum while kind of keeping him like it's just going to be a challenge, right? You don't want to overexpose him or like rush it because your roster means you don't need to. But yeah, we'll cover that here probably pretty often, I think, this year. Bobby, thoughts on QT and Hook?
Yeah, it was good. It was what it needed to be. I always forget how like QT's actually a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
So that kind of surprised me, and it was like towering over Hook, but it's fine. I mean, it looked good. Obviously the presentation for Hook is still awesome, and I'm interested in kind of like you said, what they do going forward.
Yeah, Oracle, I saw you kind of react there. I was intrigued. You got any instinctual read on how you would handle Hook here, seeing as you've got the pencil nowadays? I'm intrigued.
It's hard because I don't really know how they could. I'm really not sure how they could do it because I just popped myself thinking of something stupid. I think.
Oh no!
You know how like when Taz had the build with what was the guy's name? Paul Verlins, whatever his name was, 96 ECW, and it was, he was some legit fighter or something or whatever. He'd have like Hook like build a big match with like Jorge Masvidal and have Hook beat him.
Oh,
I like that.
Yeah,
do that.
Like I mean, they could do that. Of course, you'd have to pay Masvidal or whoever a lot of money to, for them
Becky
to be
Lynch
able to.
has been hospitalized.
Wow, really?
Who?
Becky Lynch has been hospitalized, apparently.
Did you just say that and then like immediately erupt in laughter? Is that what you just did? Did I just
I thought it
imagine
was
that?
a bit. I swore it was a bit. It was in my work chat. I'm so confused. Hold on. I don't do well with bad news.
Okay. I can see that. Carry on with your fantasy booking, Oracle, while Jaychele
Yes,
continues to cover
yes.
this story.
It's tough because you have to be careful, like with Hook, and this is not even like because I think Hook carries himself well. You have to give him.
Oh, it's
the
a work. It's a
appropriate-
work. It looks like it's a
Okay.
work. It's about Bianca and the hair whip.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
the hair whip. Okay.
False alarm.
Okay. There you go. I'm glad you laughed.
But you're allowed to burst out laughing at that now. But
I'm gonna laugh regardless.
well, yeah.
Ringside News was the first one that popped up. Don't shame me in the chat. I'm not doing that today.
Yeah.
It's tough. I don't know. Hook's. This isn't like 96 ECW where you can just build Taz for your, for a big Sabu match.
It's a very different roster.
It's a dangerous thing it's actually kind of dangerous to have this gimmick for him.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's tough. Right now they're fine. But once we get to like the summer and he's still doing this shit, I mean, you got to give. I actually I've convinced myself that beating like a legit fighter might actually be the way to go. But again, you have to pay them a lot of money to be able to eat that.
Yeah, and if it isn't a name, it's pointless, right? So it's kind of it'll be interesting. 6-man tag. We had the House of Black versus Eric Redbeard, Penta, and Pac. And I, in my first absolutely complete misstep of the night, said that this would be just a nice little match, and instead they went out there as though they had been asked to steal the show at PWG Bowler. Jaychele, your hand has been raised.
I like this match, and I don't like the lore. They did
the matches are good, right? Once they get to the ring, they're all good wrestlers. It's just just stop talking. Yeah, get fair. Immediately, Buddy slots into his role as the bumper of the team and was like just diving all over the place, taking all the bumps for this team. Brody King is really popping me with this run, but the big takeaway here, and I'm going to go straight to Oracle for his victory lap. Dude, you're right. Redbeard fucking rules.
Of course.
Like he's not like good in the star ratings way, but he actually rules. He pops me tremendously. Go ahead.
Dude, I've always liked Eric Rowan. Like I liked him when he was like big dude doing maybe half a speed faster spin kicks than Luchasaurus, and doing his that little knuckle thing that he did. Dude, that shit ruled, man. I don't know. I don't know. He's endearing to me. He's fun to watch. He's gigantic. His big beard man. And shit, and he runs around and does flying cross bodies and shit. It rules. This was lots of fun. The Bud Matt and Penta exchange early on, I'm sure had Joe and Shoot and others just leaping with.
Did it pop you that that was Buddy's first exchange in the promotion and Penta still just didn't sell from it all and just did all of his moves?
Yes.
That's his role though, man. He's gonna be the fucking bumper, and listen, if there's one thing that dude can do, wherever you are on his ceiling, he can take some fucking bumps, right?
Yes. The match ruled. It was super fun. I knew they were going to end with the mist on Redbeard because now it's the thing. He was the only guy that hadn't been misted, so it was he was next.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I enjoyed this a lot. The whole match was fun.
It was the perfect main event for the buy-in, right? It was just enough to get you really fired up, but they give you a lot along the way. Bob, your thoughts?
Yeah, it was fun. Very spooky. I like the pile driver on the apron. I think the right team won, right guy took the loss, and did what it had to do.
Jaychele, anything else to add after your thumbs up? You like the match?
I liked Redbeard a lot. He had a black box, which is normally what the AEW elite wrestlers get. So I was intrigued to see that. Also, I liked that Brody did a DVD to Redbeard, and it popped me huge because that is a big man to do that too. That was great.
Brody's fun. You know, he's got this kind of. He has a tendency to do. Sometimes his worst work is when he does the stuff we talk about with Keith. Sometimes, because he's like got like a lucha element to his game, which is kind of.
I love that shit.
You do, and that's awesome. I don't. But when he fucking clotheslines guys, I get fired up. He's fun.
Rules.
He's really. I mean, look, I'll be. God bless Malachi, but like in this team, third wheel to me, brother. I'm all in on Bud and Brody as the team in this thing. I'm not even doing a bit.
I mean, they'll Freebird if anything.
Yeah, I think they may be next for the tag titles, but I think later in the show we got an indication that I think a super team may be winning those tag titles here pretty shortly. We'll get into that. Main card: Eddie Kingston, Chris Jericho. I was very bullish on the idea that this could be good. I have to be totally honest in saying that in my wildest imagination, I did not think Chris would pull out this level of performance. He had the full Eddie Kingston experience. They opened with like the 1992 Misawa Kawada opening. Oracle, you know where I'm going with this, the instant suplex bump where you feel like, and it looked fucking brutal. Chris landed directly on his head. And I was like, well, this is going to be a ride. The chops were brutal. Physicality was there throughout. Chris legitimately fucked King's eye up. I don't know if you've seen his post on the gram, but that dude's like eye is fucked up, man. Like Chris worked that thing for a shoot. They beat the shit out of each other. The finish rolled. This is the hottest the people were all night. Eddie Kingston's the most over guy in the promotion. And more than any of that, and I did not say this to dismiss Chris Jericho, who I thought was wonderful here. This was the centerpiece of any argument moving forward about King's case, one of the best wrestlers in the world. We don't need to keep putting asterisks and disclaimers on it about what he does and doesn't do, and he's a throwback and he's old school. Forget that stuff. Guy's just a great fucking wrestler. And I think this match was a testament to that. The best match I think Jericho's had in AEW, quite frankly. I think that's kind of a safe statement. Bob, your thoughts?
Yeah, it was great, man. Honestly, Eddie Kingston should just open every pay-per-view. He just brings, the right energy that they need and gets them going.
And he doesn't burn high spots either, right? No. The same when he opened with Miro.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good point, Bob.
Yeah, that's actually, that Miro match is actually kind of what I was thinking of. And this one was good. I was very impressed with Jericho. Like, we kind of figured, like, if Jericho is there and he's ready to work, like, it's going to be good. And he was, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, look, I think, I talked about this when he did the Nick Gage match. God bless Chris Jericho. I understand everyone's, frustrations with him at times and for a range of reasons. But as a wrestler, he has always been admirably open-minded.
Yeah.
Right? And it appeared to me that his excitement for this was he's going to wrestle a kind of match he's never wrestled before. And, Oracle and I have talked about it, and you can willingly, understandably, people can roll their eyes at the King's Road cliche and all the tropes and tributes. But fucking Chris had one of those matches here. God bless him. It was 14 minutes of number action. Oracle, what did you think?
Oh, this was outstanding. I mean, like you pointed out, they opened with the classic Misawa Kawada backdrop driver, which was actually more of a half and half, if I'm not mistaken. Eddie kind of put his own little spin on it there. Then, of course, the eye orbital stuff. So, for those in the chat who don't know, Misawa and Akira Taue had a classic match in the 95 Champion Carnival in All Japan, where Misawa had a broken orbital bone, and Taue worked over it the entire match. And there was a famous spot where he claws Misawa on the face and claws his orbital bone, and it's a whole dramatic affair. And they kind of did like a version of that, right, with Jericho working over. And then I think there was a spot where Jericho actually clawed him as well, if I'm remembering correctly. But it was incredible. Eddie's selling was amazing, and it just I mean this in the most charming way. He's put on a little bit of weight since he was off. So his like big gut is hanging out, and he's like selling, and it's incredible, and it fucking rules. And he looks like fucking Phil Hickerson from Memphis out there, like fucking selling.
He's got that no tan. His belly's
Dude, it
hanging.
rules. It rules, man. Like, and it's just you believe him because it's Eddie Kingston, and it's like, I don't know, man. The dude rocks. Yeah, match was great. Like, I was initially critical of the Jericho Aubrey spot, but when I read a review on PWO, I thought someone made a really good point about how fans started to kind of cheer for Jericho at that point. Jericho kind of deliberately did that spot with Aubrey to get the fans back cheering for Eddie. I think I think there's a, as much as I kind of roll my eyes at Aubrey, I think there's a fair point that actually was the intention there, and I think that was actually kind of a brilliant move by Jericho and Aubrey to get that.
There was another cool little touch in that sense, which popped me was, Chris always does the spot where when the guy gets to the ropes on the walls, he like puts his arms up and celebrates.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a great, and I don't even know if this was intentional, but that was such a great contrast with King not believing he won.
Yeah.
Like Chris thought he won when he didn't, and King didn't. He didn't buy it after he tapped.
Yeah.
By the way, the drama on that stretch plum.
It looked great too, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
God, it looked good, and he did it just like Kawada would. Man, it was great. It was great. I popped. That was almost. I jumped up and down. It wasn't quite as explosive as the three big ones, but it was big.
We'll get there. We will definitely get there. Jaychele, I know you're not a big Chris Jericho fan. You were very, very fired up about. There you go. You were very fired up about King potentially losing this. This was when wrestling's at its best, where you're really rooting for a guy and he wins. It makes it all the better, doesn't it?
Yes. My thoughts are Tope's thoughts.
Okay. I'm going to read that for the audio, folks. So this is where, as a pro, I'll do that. All props to Jericho for his performance last night. As much as I don't like him as a person, played his role to perfection. Look, it's not lost on me, guys. And this is not. I'm not trying to sit here and get sappy in match one of a 9-match wrestling review, but Eddie Kingston beating Chris Jericho by submission on pay-per-view is pretty nuts. I mean, I've not been there the whole time, but I've been there long enough to know that is fucking insane. So God bless him. And I don't think this is the climax of this story, right? I think there's a ways to go with King's story, to be clear. I think we all pulled a punch a little bit when we talk about King as world champ, but like, I don't know, man. That dude's fucking beloved, isn't he?
Nope.
Dude, JR's line in the main event where he said, "What's the difference between a Liger bomb and a power bomb?" And Excalibur just explained it to him, and he was like, "Fair." Just threw his hands up. There was one when Mox was working Danielson, and he goes, "Tony, what the hell are you doing?" Tony goes, "I'm just getting excited, man." He must have moved in his chair, and Jim was like, "What the fuck?"
Wait, hold on. Since we're on it, we got to talk about the opening of the show. Hey, folks, it's Sunday. You know what that means. Where are we? He didn't even know where they were.
It's fucking incredible. The thing is that we shouldn't laugh, and I do get why some folks in our position, like, they're very analytical about it, and look, they're probably right. He's watched, I get it. He fucking pops me so much. Like, I'm gonna miss him so much when he leaves eventually, because he's just like, he sounds like actively mad multiple times. But this is the beauty.
By golly,
and it rules. He hates Danhausen so much.
Oh, he got so mad. But when something happens that actually pops him, like the match we were just talking about, he has those moments again, right? And it's like, fuck, man, JR's there. It's just, I don't know. He's such a unique experience at this point.
You take the bad for the good.
Yeah. Speaking of matches that made Jim a little bit frustrated, the AEW World Tag Team title match, Jurassic Express, Red Dragon, Young Bucks. Look, I think my enjoyment of this is probably lesser than the consensus because of my issues with these matches in general. But I will say, and I'm intrigued on your guys' take on this, but I think this is about as good a job as you can do with this particular set of circumstances. When you're trying to A, get across the Red Dragon story while B, producing the big pay-per-view epic, I don't think you can do a better job than this. Now, were they excessive? Yes, that doesn't bother me as much as it does some folks. I get it. I don't think you can have a better match with Luchasaurus in the ring. I'm sorry, man. Now, speaking of such, I want to go to Super Grins here. We appreciate the support, folks. Streamlabs.com/late night grin. And let me read it. We've got a couple of these. My bad, guys. Let me catch up here. Riley sent on Sunday night, for the record, I don't think the dinosaur is as bad as you guys think he is, but I would like Jungle Boy to now start teaming up with Redbeard instead. Oracle, your thoughts on that?
I agree with that.
There you go. Oh, how, Riley. JJ said between Sacrifice and Revolution, that's despicable. Sliding Sacrifice in there is filth. He said, I can say pro wrestling rules. If you've not seen Jay White, Alex Shelley, do so. Jaychele, how was your victory after Tasha winning? This is
Tasha's the champion, and I don't know what to do.
I can't see the screen. I was listening. That was very scary.
When I saw that happen on Saturday, I was scrolling through Twitter, and all of a sudden, like, you know how like when you accidentally play the video and I was without looking, all of a sudden like Jaychele was shouting at me from my phone.
That was very alarming for me because I couldn't see you guys. I was reading the things, and that was something else. Yes, we'll get to the Adam Cole question later, JJ. We appreciate it. Manny Boy asking about Punk feeling like he's part of management in the post-shot scrums. He's definitely he's super involved in their process, man. Like he's Tony, you know, I think he opens up to him a lot because he loves him, and Punk's got so much power and such that I think it's actually as simple as he's involved. Manny Boy also asks, I don't want to complain about an all-time pay-per-view, but how many times are we going to get a pay-per-view where the women's division matches don't live up to the rest of the card? I just want to see good women's wrestling, and I hate seeing them die out there. A fair question. We'll get to it. One of the matches I think was the best it could have been. The other I think was Oracle's gonna lead the way on that front. So we'll get into all that, folks. I cut us off there in mid match. Jaychele, your thoughts on the tag title match?
One of my favorite matches of the night. It was probably number 3 for me of the night. I love this. I love flippy dippy shit. It had all the flippy dippy shit.
It did.
Jungle Boy, also like Layla, climbs the ropes like a monkey. I very much enjoy that. He never misses on the ropes. He does the flip and he bounces. He puts his legs on the rope and he does the flip. I don't understand it.
He was awesome in this match.
He was great. Yeah. Shining star. The Young Bucks always go all out for pay-per-view. I think Bobby Fish looked the best I've seen him in a while.
He always looks
very
good.
Excited for that. Yes, but he was screaming throughout the whole match, and I didn't understand.
My favorite thing. It's my favorite thing about AEW is when Bob Fish just is like there was a moment in the main event where Bryce was like, "What are you clowns doing out?" And he's like, "Who are you calling a clown?"
Oh, I have some notes. Bobby said, "My turn." Screamed it out, and then he said, "There it is." Then Nick or Matt, I don't know which one, said, "We were going to beat them down." And Kyle goes, "I forgot."
That wrong. When Kyle did that sell, I'm like, oh, shit, man, I forgot about what we're supposed to do as a team. Oracle, I think you have some of the issues I have with the match type and probably some more with the way they execute it. But what are your thoughts on the overall package we got here for the tag titles?
I thought Jungle Boy was really great in this. I thought he did good when he was in peril for a little bit. I thought he, hit his spots wonderfully. The Bucks were fine. They executed that finish beautifully. I'll give them that credit. They just, I don't know. I've always find them grating. Luchasaurus, he stood in the middle and people just ran at him, and then he just sort of tried.
Matches are better when you don't look at him. You can imagine he's not there. It's great.
The problem is he was in the ring for an awful long time, and it became annoying for me. But I thought both Red Dragon looked good.
This is a lie. This is a lie, right?
Bob's older. Bob Fish is older.
Okay.
4,000 years old, Bob Fish.
Well, that's how old the Dino Man is.
Is he 4?
4,000.
Bob's 5 then. Bob's 5.
Okay.
Oracle.
Yeah, you're good. Really, I have nothing. I mean, it was fine. It was fine. it was approaching way too long, then they finished it.
Yeah.
So it was still a little too long for me, but it was close. Like I almost went and did something else for like a minute, but it was close. They finished up just in time.
I agree. I will say it didn't feel like 19 minutes to me. So I'd say that's a good. Like I was with you. I thought if it went any further, it would have been too far. But when I saw 19 minutes, I was like, I thought it was pretty encouraging. Bob, you famously tweeted disdain for this match. You said this is the shits. Tony Khan can go fuck himself. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Jungle Boy looked good. I'm glad Jurassic Express got to retain the titles. I do think they did a good job, telling the two stories kind of at the same time. Just not the style of match that I prefer. Doesn't mean it was bad. Just means that it's not for me.
I'm gonna use that line later.
It was fine. Like, I thought the finishing sequence was good, and like I said, I'm glad Jurassic Express won because I think you can do Young Bucks and Red Dragon without the titles.
Yes, I would agree. Super Grins, once again, folks, streamlabs.com/late night grim. Riley sends a couple. He says, after last night, I feel Punk is the GOAT. I know Danielson is a better wrestler, but my God, CM Punk this whole run has made me appreciate his work even more. Seen him wrestle for 7 years. Punk is just so damn good. We'll quickly stop the review to talk about this a little bit. Oracle. How much is this run doing for Punk's, top 100 wrestlers ever, greatest wrestler ever, like case? I'm not saying you'll have him at number one, but like he's doing something here, right?
Well, he was a lock for me in 2016, and he's a lock again, and he's going to move up the rankings for me. I mean, he's probably. I mean, it's tough. I mean, when you include all the Japanese legends and luchadors and stuff, it becomes crowded. But I mean, he's easily within the top 75, I think. Very good shot at top 50, I think.
If you said, so if we went from like the indie golden generation forward, so like early 2000s to now, would you say he's second to Tony Danielson on your, but in America anyway, in that kind of, that kind of group of guys? Or do you have AJ above him too? I'm intrigued.
I mean, I had AJ awfully high in 2016. But it was, part of me thinks it may have been recency bias at the time. I had him like 25 or 30 or something.
He is fucking great, though.
Yeah, I mean, those are the top three for sure. Danielson would probably be higher. See, I wouldn't have Danielson won like a lot of people would. But he would have a shot at my top 10. I don't even know if he'd make it, but he'd have a shot. Yeah, Punk is no less than 3. He's his abilities. The thing is AJ could never do the feuds like Punk could. They're
very different. They are very, very different.
I think, it's tough.
Good question. He's much more dynamic in ring.
Yes,
right? He's electric when he especially in his prime. But you're right. Punk is. Again, it's a cliche, but he's a throwback, right? He can do those blood feuds of yesteryear like no one's business. So, yeah, it's interesting for sure. Riley also said, Eddie Kingston delivered another pay-per-view banger. Hope we get a Swerve and King feud soon. I think you will. Also, bloody hell, why don't we think of Regal? For like now, we see Danielson and Mox get the tag gold. I agree. I'm going to get into that later, and we'll talk about Regal. But Swerve's a good point. I'd forgotten about. Huge pop for Tony flashing the contract. Over and over again, so everyone could see it said Swerve. I'm for this. I like just some guys just being introduced this way rather than everyone having to come in at an angle, shooting coming in and doing a beatdown. Like Jason and I did the free agents where he laid out all the scenarios, but like there's something to be said for just breaking a guy for like a big deal, right? I liked it, Jaychele. What did you think?
I loved it. I almost cried. I was on Zoom watching with my boyfriend. Started jumping up and down on my bed. He kept saying whose house, and I was like, that's not what I want you to say. I want you to tell me who you want to fight. But I had to go with it. I was still very excited. I loved his entrance music.
Yes,
I will be playing that over and over because I know that's his music. So love Swerve.
How did you feel about Tony Khan immediately stopping the free in the name thing?
I don't give a fuck. Swerve is Swerve.
Felt like I won at that point, not a lie.
I really don't care. Swerve is Swerve.
Any-
I have Swerve.
Bobby, any thoughts on the man that claims this is his house?
No, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. I really did enjoy him in NXT. And I think, just kind of bring him out like that. It's kind of like the face in the crowd thing that they used to do at takeovers, which is cool. And you can do that more often. Why not? If you have a signing, do this sort of thing at, your 4 pay-per-views, and it's a cool way to bring him in.
Oracle, thoughts on Swerve?
Yeah, I like Swerve. I'm concerned about how they sign 2 people every month.
I'm sure it's fine.
Well, when they get those renegotiations for their TV deal, whenever in a year or two, whenever it is, that 2-hour rampage is probably going to be something on the table, and it might be something you want to do.
This is why I think they need to make Ring of Honor thing count, bro. They just need a place,
There's a whole discussion on that, how that could be a dangerous.
We're stopping this.
There is, especially if he's booking it. Especially if he's the one booking it, as he says he is, right?
Right, exactly. But yeah, I think I'm a fan of his. I thought he had a really good 18 months in NXT. He showed me a lot. I was never a huge fan of Strickland on the Indies, but I grew to like him in NXT. I think he has a lot of presence. I think he's charismatic. I think he's good promo. I think he's I think he's a solid worker.
Crossover star.
He's definitely a guy you sign. Yeah, he's
for sure.
There's star potential there.
This reminded me more of this is a WCWism, I think, from Tony. Where they'd be like, Jeff Jarrett's here in WCW, or Kurt Hennig's here in WCW.
Yeah, fucking ruled.
yeah, and they just show up in jeans and shit, and
how great was it having Shivani?
90s, and they show up in their 90s attire, and they'd be like, I'm here in WCW. Gene Okerlund on the ramp.
It pumped me the way Shivani was like a proud dad. He's like, called this young man's matches. He was so joyous. So speaking of contract negotiations. We're now joined by a member of the Late Night Grin who on Friday tore up his contract after the infamous Late Night Grin. The confirmed shoot has arrived here.
You should have left it like that. That looked incredible.
That was very.
I knew you weren't going to be able to not show up on here. You full of shit.
Well, to be fair,
he's over here saying I'm not going to be able to criticize anything about this show.
Once again, I have joined the StreamYard and am immediately being attacked.
Yeah, that was tough. I wouldn't have done that work. Things got heated.
Yeah, I didn't have anything better to do. I'm waiting for the pizza to get here, so I just thought I'd show up and derail everything.
You don't want to Raw? Raw's on again,
Would you like again there?
Would you like to talk about anything that we've talked about so far? Confirmed shoot?
What all of you guys talked about? What are we talking about?
AEW Revolution. We've talked about the Eddie Kingston match and the tag title match. How much is that Eddie Kingston match for all shit?
It's Chris Jericho's best match in 10 years, maybe.
Yeah, it fucking ruled.
I may have teared up when Eddie won.
Yeah, it was wild.
I like professional wrestling. I don't know about you guys. I know Bob doesn't, but I don't know about the rest of you guys. I had a really good time. If any
you
of
didn't
you
sit there the whole time waiting to go home?
No. So that's an interesting thing. When I order professional wrestling pay-per-views, which is 4 times a year, to be clear, what I like to see is a lot of professional wrestling because I paid $50 for it. I didn't really pay $50 for a tight 2 hours and 30 minutes of, a show that's slightly longer than the show I watch every week on TNT for free. I want to see a lot of professional wrestling. It's what I pay for. Some of us on screen right now don't pay for the wrestling, so I could understand them having that mindset. But me personally, I did not think this show was too long at all. I didn't think this show... Well, there was one match where I was probably a little bit
That was more about the match than the time,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, see, so the thing about professional wrestling is that it's good. Sometimes.
Look, too many people that I love and respect had the take that you were referencing, saying, and I'm not going to go off on it, but like, I don't know, man. I had a lot of fun. The length thing is something I've adjusted to fully now, so
I go into the show expecting that.
it's going to be 4 hours every time.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, what we saw last night is what it's going to be every time now. That buy-in is going to stay that way. The thing is, and I'm really trying not to. I'm not trying to be like, a total
especially
asshole
after
here.
Friday.
That's okay. We haven't gotten to the Britt Thunder Rosa match yet.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people who claim to love professional wrestling and then like act like they're ashamed of it all the time. Like, do you like wrestling or not?
No.
My big thing is, and this doesn't relate to anyone on this show because we're all reviewing it right now, but I do sometimes find that people have convinced themselves they have to watch it all, and it's like,
Yeah.
hey man, like, you just go to bed, it's fine. You can watch it tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be uploaded somewhere. If you bought it, you can watch it legally tomorrow. Like, the thing about like, let's just hurry all this up so I can see it all before I go to sleep is kind of weird to me. I have to admit. I watched the show at 5 a.m. It finished for me, and I don't know. It's just anyone got anything on the length stuff, which is
was Jaychele just talking to us, or do you know you're muted, or?
I forgot I was muted.
Okay.
I
saw your mouth moving, and I'm like, maybe she's talking to somebody else.
Yeah.
I had to add something to the StreamYard, and I didn't want the audio to play and spoiled my surprise for later.
Fair.
But
In there.
what I was saying is you can still watch it even if you didn't pay for it the next day.
Exactly. Yeah, Bob proves that often.
Yeah.
Look,
we do because this was a topic today. I couldn't care less whether you bought the pay-per-view or not. Like,
yeah, that's
a bit that we do on here. Personally, I'm not a thief, but if you're comfortable doing that, it's fine. Oracle knows I'm kidding, so
yeah. This is interesting. Jaychele, what do you think the chances are of Tony Khan getting us on copyright for the clip you just shared in the StreamYard?
I don't know. Do you really care?
Very much so. Friday night got testy. We don't take those risks around here, Jaychele.
It's a good clip, though.
It is, but I think everyone's seen it.
To be fair,
that's why we should show it.
No, we use clips like this.
Facts, all caps with 3 exclamation points, and then 100 in red, as in keep it 100.
We don't take risks on copyright anymore, do we?
Fine, I'm going to stop trying to help.
Besides when we play the Paul White theme for 20 seconds.
And the whole thing, as long as it goes, we just leave it.
Yes.
Yeah, other than that, we take it very seriously.
I did go in and edit out. If any, obviously, I wouldn't recommend going back and rewatching that show that we put out on Friday for any reason whatsoever.
Apparently, it was good.
Yeah, it actually was good until
it was fine.
Until we decided to do ESPN2 morning debate shows. But
what does that mean?
We started having a heated argument. I was kind of funny. I was really trying to pop my friend Oracle, who exploded on one of my Adam Cole bits, and I was rolling. It's just fun.
So what happened? So what happened is my StreamYard messed up, and I was legitimately mad about this because I was going and playing with my router and then find out my network's fine and StreamYard just sucked. And so I came back and I was legitimately angry. And so then this bit started and it was not the right time for it. And then as the bit was going on, I stopped being angry and was doing a bit. And it wasn't good. But at first I was actually angry. It was pretty.
Yeah, it was
the thing. I can't tell when you're doing a bit.
Very difficult.
Very hard. So
that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Great poker face. Great poker face.
All right, let's talk about Revolution since I derailed this whole show.
You sure?
Everybody.
Face of the Revolution ladder match. Wardlow over, Christian Cage, Keith Lee, Orange Cassidy, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Ricky Starks. I I thought this was really well produced in a way that the last year's one absolutely was not. There was some wonderful moments of Orange Cassidy, which were perfect for his character. I liked all the big man stuff, and the key point of making Wardlow look awesome. They got in the end. I was very scared for our guy Ricky. That looked terrifying. Didn't that power bomb on the ladder?
Multiple people yelled in the theater.
Yeah, it was carnage, but I thought it was really, really fun. I enjoyed it very much. Jaychele, what did you think?
Did you see my little dance?
I did, yeah. But I was, as I've said to you on Saturday night, I'm very, very locked in. So in future, when I'm like setting something up, try not to do that because it's very distracting.
It was more for the people than it was for you, but whatever.
I thought that, so I wasn't gonna comment. Then you was like, "Did you see it?" And it's like, "Well, fuck." Now I have to,
You asked me how I felt about it, so I had to respond with, "Did you see my dance?"
Look at Bob, like his dancing on camera gimmick just got stolen. He's just left with nothing.
True.
I did a prediction show for Jaychele on Saturday and just spent the whole thing just being a fucking asshole. I don't know why. And it's now I think the way I'm going to do these shows. But anyway, enough. Jaychele, what did you think? You actually liked it? Yes.
Yeah, second favorite match of the night.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Second favorite. Okay.
Yes, second favorite match of the night.
Whoa.
Ricky played his part amazingly. Orange Cassidy proved that he deserved to be in this match. That spot where he did the pull-up flip thing, doodah.
That was awesome. Yeah.
One of the greatest spots in a ladder match I've ever seen. Don't react to me like that because then I feel like I'm saying something I shouldn't.
No, you enjoyed the match. Go ahead.
I think Christian Cage did very well here. I love that Hobbs and Keith Lee worked as big guys. It was perfect for the match. I wish that they would have had a better ladder.
Fair. Shoot, you're grinning wide. What's happening?
My pizza's here, which is an incredible bit.
Okay.
I was like, I got like an hour to hang out. I'll talk about this match real quick, though. It fucking ruled.
Okay.
The thing, especially with multi-man ladder matches, is when it's the year 2022 and you've got spots in your multi-man ladder match that I've never seen before, that's a pretty big win because we've kind of seen it all at this point, or so we had thought. I thought everyone was very good here. Everyone got some shine. Everyone played their role. Keith Lee looked good. He did that spot where he jumped over two guys at once, popped me huge. Perfect example of what we were talking about, the stuff I don't want to see him do every match, but in this match, popped me. Wardlow looked great. I thought Ricky Starks died at one point. It was really nice to see him back with the Stroke Daddy gear.
What did you think of
lost
Danhausen
my
being there?
fucking mind.
That also happened.
Yes.
No,
Is he gonna wrestle?
What's that?
Danhausen's never gonna wrestle in AEW.
No.
I don't think so. I've reached the point already where he actually doesn't bother me anymore. But I'm going to keep the bit going because I have to. He's so damn over that it's like,
It's
Like-
also extremely funny how much JR hates him.
Yeah,
So-
that's why I actually
Yeah.
root for it. He
That's
didn't even
incredible.
offer he just like sighed and moved on. It was really funny.
Okay, guys, I got to
he's
go eat
injured.
pizza.
Sorry.
Okay, pal.
Punk and MJF was incredible. Pretty much everything on the show ruled except for the women's title match, which was disappointing, but they'll make up for that hopefully in 11 days or whatever that is. Enjoy the rest of the show. Hopefully I didn't spoil anything for anyone. I don't even know what that meant. I'm just kind of talking now. Jaychele, good luck with these guys.
It's gonna go very
We'll
bad.
talk about
for
your
me.
contract later, pal.
Pizza sounds good.
Enjoy your pizza.
You really want to
shoot.
you really want to put that out in public, Joe?
He'll be back, guys. I promise he'll be back.
Okay. All right.
He's an EVP. How could he possibly leave?
I won't there will not be
Josh
any
Alexander.
God, we went to the same bit. I was about to say there won't be any statements released at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Sorry.
Bye.
Tremendous.
Well, I guess I got to hit the second leave button.
Good God.
That was quite the exit. Yeah, the Josh Alexander thing. That was a work all along, right?
I'm
Jaychele?
pissed about that. I got some qualms, some quarrels, whatever the word is, with that.
Right. We save that for the Impact show. We don't do.
Can we please do sacrifice so I can take a victory lap about
Yeah,
Tasha?
we may
But we
try
don't
and
have to do
find.
the whole show. We could just do Tasha, to be honest, and Jay White.
We try and find some time maybe this week to do some Impact stuff. Oracle, what did you think of this ladder match, pal?
It was good. It was good. I'm trying to figure out how you launch a man outside of the ring onto the ramp, and yet you launch him so far that he's actually launched over the head of two people who were supposed to catch him.
Big
That was
deal.
one of the most absurd heaves I've ever seen. Orange Cassidy got launched 25 feet in the air.
What about when they tried to clothesline Keith out the ring and Hobbs did such a ferocious clothesline that he took a fucking bump to the floor and
Yeah.
Keith didn't go anywhere? Hobbs is fucking awesome, man.
Well, it's like Hobbs and Wardlow are like gigantic, and then like compared to
Yeah.
Keith Lee, it's nothing.
He's just different, man. Dude, he's fucking
Yeah.
huge. Like, he's just so. Yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah, this was good. Christian was great, just putting everything together. Someone noted on the chat, and they made a good point. Christian barely took any bumps.
Yeah, he ain't no more, brother.
But
There's only
I mean,
8,000 people there, you know.
But he's smart. He shouldn't, you know.
He's too old to do that shit.
He worked too hard to get back to the ring. He don't need to be taking bumps in a ladder
Wait,
match.
Orange Cassidy's injured?
Well, that sucks.
Yeah,
His
Took some
shoulder.
pretty brutal.
he hurt his shoulder on that. Like when he got like thrown, like they didn't catch him because he got thrown so far and he landed on his shoulder.
He's easy to keep on TV anyway because he's got like
Yeah.
20 people in his faction. He can just stand at ringside. He'll be fine.
I just want him to say more stuff like, I have to climb a ladder tonight and just act dumb. That's
I
great.
have to say, I know some people are tired. I just think he is fucking great. He's so valuable because you can kind of. He's smart enough and he knows the character enough that you can kind of put him in any position. He'll figure out a way to make it work for Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Bob, what did you think of the ladder match, pal?
I thought it was great. Kind of like Shoot said, they did stuff that I'd never seen before, which I thought was very cool. Finish was good. I'm glad Ricky seems to be okay. And I'm really excited to get the Wardlow stuff going because I think he's going to win the title next week. So,
Wow, that's interesting. So let's talk about this a little bit here. I think the latter happens. Read the comment. Wardlow wins the TNT title, or does MJF and or Spears cost him? I think the latter. Jaychele, what do you think? Is Wardlow going to win TNT title?
I don't want Wardlow to win. I don't want Scorpio to win. I only want Keith or Swerve.
Oracle, what do you think?
I think you're right. I think there'll be some interference, some shenanigans that will cost Wardlow. And he will not win the TNT Championship, and he will continue on with the program with MJF.
Yeah, that's my take. Bob, what do you think? You think he's going to win the title, right?
yeah, I think him and Scorpio are going to win the title, actually.
My God.
I know.
Double switch.
I
Yeah.
have many questions about why you would do a ladder match when it's an open challenge so you can just wait another week. But
That's a real, that's a good point. And when they did the video package about how one match can, change your career, it's like, well, I mean, Tony Nese got a shot at the TNT title. They ain't that deep.
Jay Lethal.
Yeah. Who? They need to, they should probably come up with something with a bit more juice. You're right. I don't know what that
have
is.
it mean something else. Like if you're the face of the Revolution, what do you get? Do you get more money? Do you get to be on the posters? Do you get more money from ticket sales or something? What does that mean to be the face of the Revolution besides being fucking Sonic? What does that mean? And why is it a grass ring?
I thought the same thing. Yeah, the TNT title is so easy to wrestle for anyway. I think Cody may have a point that it should be for the world title shot. It's not a perfect fix, but I think there's something to it, right? Because world title shots are hard to get in AEW. So, yeah, it's interesting.
Or you challenge whoever you want or something like that. You can pick TNT or world.
Yeah.
Somebody did say that the on a message board said that the brass ring looked like a hemorrhoid pillow.
Fair. Okay. Jade Cargill, Ty Conti up next. Tony sent a Great Super Grin says, "Can Jade have both women's belts at the same time?" This was a hit, in my view. I think it was just about perfectly produced.
I have a question.
Yes.
What does this mean?
So Dusty Rhodes would do commentary in the 90s on WCW Saturday Night and pay-per-views and stuff, and he would always say when a guy won the match, they would get paid, and he'd go into the pay window.
Yeah.
He'd say that all
Okay.
the time.
That was
Thank
his
you.
way of adding like some sort of, reason and point to the match. The idea that you get paid, it fucking ruled as a compliment. I'm aware of why you read that and immediately thought, oh no, I'm being buried in the chat.
I like Dusty. I know I like him. I just didn't know what the pay window thing was. I could infer, but I didn't exactly know.
There you go. I thought this was pretty much perfectly produced in that they kind of just did the stuff they're good at for 7 minutes and got out of there. Anna Jay coming out with the tape on her shoulder. And then the way that she took that fucking pump kick from Jade was one of the most unintentionally funny things I've ever seen in professional wrestling. I think Anna Jay is great. I've never said anything but positive words about her. But there is something just strikingly awkward about her. And Oracle used that word, and I had always been hesitant, but no, he's right. Awkward is the word. The way that she stood there.
Used it, to be fair.
I think I need to rewatch it.
Yeah.
The way that she just stood there and put her right hand up so she didn't get kicked directly in the face, it just fucking popped me. I'm not even saying it was bad. It was just funny.
I need to rewatch that. I didn't see it.
I like the match. Jaychele, what did you think?
Number 4 for me. Love this. Love Jade. Jade did a fucking frog splash.
Yes.
She was feeling froggy, so she jumped. I was very excited. Like I called, Ty did a moonsault, but she did that thing first, which I was like,
that's tough.
No.
I imagine when she does that, Oracle punching the wall in rage, just because Sammy Guevara influence is spreading on the program. But yes, go on.
I was very confused by the kissing on the lips, but I like women, so I was excited for that anyway. And then I like that Jade is continuing to do the Eye of the Storm, and I thought it was funny that Ty did a pile driver.
Bob said the same thing after the kiss spot. He texted me, I like women, so I was excited. Bob, your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, I thought it was, played to their strengths. Jade is very clearly a star. They've been trying to make her a star, and I think they've done a really good job. I think the in-ring's gotten better, but, the whole presentation, the entrance, the theme is incredible. The look, just, she's going to be there real soon. And she's already, almost there, but she's going to be one of the top stars in the promotion, male or female, soon.
Oracle, I think you informed me in our fame group chat you enjoyed this one.
I did. First of all, Jade's theme fucking rules, man.
Yeah.
And the guy playing the guitar, great. That ruled. She has a WCW theme, almost. It sounds like an old WCW theme. It rules.
She was playing her out, and fucking JL was like, "Big man."
Joe,
a big man can play, can he?
That's what he said. He said like he was a linebacker.
Oh no, we forgot. JR goes, oh man, she looks like a superhero. And Excalibur goes, she actually looks like a Mortal Kombat character.
Oh,
maybe a Mortal
God.
Kombat character.
JR as if I did commentary. That's what exactly it would sound like.
We haven't even talked about on the main event when he was like, "Is that a new belt?"
His notes were mixed up because the women.
But even if they were, why would you say it that way, right?
Bob, I'm gonna need to download your hooting and hollering meme with the fingers, and we're gonna put it in here.
That pops me a lot.
This match popped me. When Jade kissed Ty, I screamed and yelled and pumped my fist. That wasn't not as loud as the first, not as loud as the three big ones, but I popped at that. And then they did big moves and it ruled, and Jade is still learning, but she's so incredibly confident that it doesn't matter because she's just throwing shit out there and it rules, and she's doing new stuff, and she totally believes in herself now. She's which is important because I think the confidence being there is huge because it's just she's just going to get better from now on, and
Joe
yeah,
is dying.
This ruled. Like the pile driver popped me. This was super fun. Like they didn't overstay. It didn't overstay its welcome. This was. In some ways, I liked it better than the Anna match, although the Anna match had better connective tissue. This was super fun. I really enjoyed this.
Well, Ty has the offense to match Jade in a way that Anna doesn't, right? She has more explosive offense. So, yeah, it was different. Bobby, we've gone around the horn on this one, right? We've all talked about this one.
In conclusion, I love black women.
There you go. Oh, hell. CM Punk, MJF. Dog collar match. I know where everyone is going to go on this, so I'm going to start at the low point. We're going to work our way up. Jaychele, this wasn't for you, was it?
Don't be afraid.
So I'm going to say this. This is actually.
I'm not. Here's the thing. I figured it was a match that. I figured this was the one you didn't like, and it's fine.
There's two.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
I figured the other one's probably. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I had two. Bless Jaychele.
Oh, this is not going to go well.
The
No,
other.
I'm not. I mean, the
Not with you guys. The chat is going to hate me.
Yeah, the
It's
chat.
fine.
Yeah.
The other friend I have on social that is also a younger fan and is a female fan messaged me as soon as this match ended and was like, I don't know if I liked this. and I think it's very much a case of, and this is not me being so injustice, I think you know where I'm coming from here. This is some old school shit. Like the pace of this was some throwback stuff. And I get why for you it was a little bit like slow moving. I will say I saw some people that are more into that style that didn't love the match. They liked it, didn't love it. Explain yourself as much as you want to, Jaychele. None of us care. I mean, we've all had crazy takes. Oracle once said that he thinks Miz is more fun than Kenny Omega, and the chat they were going to fucking come after him and attack him. So
for that.
You were, yeah. So don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Okay, let me establish this by saying I watch GCW regularly.
Yes.
So when I first started telling people that I didn't like this match too much, they were like, was it the blood? I was like, no, I see blood all the time. I like blood. That was probably my favorite part. And like you said, I think my issue was the pacing of the match. Obviously, I like the flippy dippy shit. I love flippy dippy shit. I like high spots. I have the attention span of a 2-year-old. So once you start flipping, I'm in it. But I liked the tax. That was cool. That was for me. I loved Wardlow. That was my favorite part of the match was Wardlow.
Mm-hmm. Crowd loved that too, to be fair. Bob, you were pretty fired up. You sent me a message earlier today about the Punk kind of comeback and how fun it's been for you and so on and so forth. So go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of talking big picture, just, it's still pretty crazy that he came back. Like, it took so long to kind of wrap your head around the fact, like, oh, he's gone. And then, 5-6 years pass by and it's just like, oh, well, I guess that's it. And, to see him back kind of doing his thing now, just kind of like he used to. Like, the entrance is cool. And I never even have really seen too much of his Ring of Honor stuff, and the entrance is still just like, oh, yes. I know what this is. Like, this is.
Wait, you didn't turn the show off in anger that you didn't immediately like fully get the reference? Is that what happened? Did you not?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, that was cool. And just the thing with Punk in general, and especially his AEW run, like, it's gonna always be special because he's one of my favorites. But also, like, this channel, I don't think exists without him, because this is kind of the foundation of us all coming together and doing this. And, that's always something that's going to be important to me, too, because this is important to me, Mm-hmm. And he's part of that. It's cool.
Bob is cutting a promo right now.
The match itself was also very good. I figured when he had the white shorts, he was going to be bleeding quite a bit, and did not let me down there. The tax might have been a little bit of overkill, but also like, who cares? It was fine. It's that type of match. I loved it, man. I want to go back and watch the rest of the show from this point, because like I feel like everything else was kind of clouded for me just because of how much I enjoyed this.
Yeah, I'm definitely on board with a lot of what you said. CM Punk get emotional at the post press conference and stuff. It's like, this is the best thing I've ever covered in professional wrestling.
Mhm.
Because there's a human element to this that's really quite special. Because you're basically seeing a guy like erase all of those bad feelings and all those demons and all that hate, and like, look, he's still maybe petty, but if you watch how he says it, like, it's whatever. He's always going to feel a certain way at WWE. But pro wrestling is like back in that dude's heart, and it's so fun to just watch him just express that
what's gonna
shit.
make that better for me is when he brings his wife back. When he brings his wife back, I will be in the same plane with all you guys. I will be a Punk bootlicker. I will cry some real tears.
Well, we may have a wait, unfortunately. I don't know if that's going to happen. But
we're manifesting it.
By the way, the blood in this thing, Papa Holbert thought Punk was going to die in the middle of the wrestling ring. I was so happy. Oracle, you like yourself some blood in pro wrestling. Oh my God, man. Punk's an all-time bleeder, bro. This was great, wasn't it?
Okay, so listen. One of my first of 3 major explosions from my couch.
I don't think you can say
MJF
that.
comes out, remember, with so
Oracle,
Colton personality.
hold on. I need you to walk that back, what you just said.
He ain't walking it back. Keep going.
All right, now get your head out of the gutter.
Hang on a second, Oracle. Let me put a bow on that bit in a way that you'll appreciate and respect.
I just busted right inside him, and he can't extend on me anymore, and he seems a little overwhelmed by my girth and tonnage.
Thank you.
Carry on, Oracle.
Thank you, Skip. The first thing that made me jump up and down and pump my fist, screaming wildly, so MJF comes out with like CM Punk music, comes out with his music, whatever. And look, I didn't watch Ring of Honor. I knew about it. I had the magazines. My oldest brother watched it and informed me of some things sometimes or whatever. But I didn't get to really see it. I was a kid. I was in middle school during this era. And when the different themes started, I thought, that's weird. I said, what is this? And I realized what it was. And I immediately leapt from my couch. When he came out in the shorts, I lost my shit. I completely lost my shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I was just like running around and like going crazy. And like, the whole Goosebumps gimmick, losing my mind. That was special. Like, Orlando was not the greatest crowd in the world for that. But all the discussion about it today was so stupid because they don't have anything else to talk about on Twitter. They talk about that. Who cares? So what if it just popped me and tape machines? It's supposed to pop. You know what I mean? Like it's
just to speak to this, and then please carry on because you're spot on. But
right.
As I said, I was watching the show with my dad, so I had the idea that makes him like not want to watch is so dumb.
Right.
Like I popped and was just like, yeah, that's his old. That's the guy that was like MJF. Basically,
it's a great theme, by the way.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, look, everything you said, carry on, Oracle. But yeah, absolutely.
Right. The match was actually a little bit too long, and it was a bit of a slog in the middle. I actually don't disagree with that. The blood was great. I mean, Punk was just, God, he was bleeding everywhere. It ruled. The first 10 minutes were outstanding. Then it had a rough. It was it wasn't bad. It was it slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
The tack stuff was kind of an odd addition. I didn't hate it. I just thought it was strange. The Wardlow stuff was outstanding. Like I was pretty close to predicting it. But it was a little bit more involved than I thought it would. Than I thought what would happen. But the crowd ate it up. Wardlow his facial expressions were great. Great finish. Great match. Great post match. Yeah, this was great. End of a classic feud. I think it's a match that I probably would like a little bit more on rewatch. In terms of the analysis side. or maybe less so. I don't know. I was pretty invested in it. One of the more matches I was invested in quite a long time. But yeah, this was great, man. Like this was the whole thing was great. Like I said, it wasn't as good as maybe Piper Valentine was, but in terms of storyline and blood and MJF getting his comeuppance and stuff like that, I thought they delivered 10 out of 10. So
Yeah. I will say it's worth, and I thought this during the match. I remember you and I talking about length, and you saying that you kind of had some concerns it would go over 20, right?
mhm.
And I kind of downplayed those concerns, but as I thought about it, I was like, actually, that match with Raven is really fucking long. It's like 35, 40, isn't it? The dog collar with Raven, they fight through the
Yeah,
crowd for
it
like
is.
15 minutes. So,
It is.
yeah, I think I actually agree. You could probably trim it some, but like, I think this was pretty special, and so warts and all, I think we all can kind of take it that way. Jaychele, you're popping very much over there. What's going
It's
on?
about GCW, but I'm going to say it anyway. Ali Ketch is facing Jordan Grace this Saturday in Atlanta at a show I was supposed to go to, but I canceled my flight.
Oh,
So I'm very excited to watch it regardless, though. I'm
You're a
very
big Jordan
excited.
Grace fan. Yeah.
I'm going to cry, dude.
You'd have to be a bit excited for that one. All right. Anyway, up next, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Very fitting transition. Defeated Thunder Rosa,
Wait.
Oracle. So here's what I've seen. I've seen two camps on this, okay? I've seen one, this is my side, and I believe I'm in the minority on this one. I've always fine because I was ready for the finish. I had my usual issues with Britt were there, but I didn't think it was terrible. I have seen even more so people that have called this the worst match of the year.
Oh,
I have seen, vicious dunks. It currently has a 4.54 on Cage Match. Oracle, I'm going to go straight to you. You didn't like this one, did you, my friend?
It sucks, man. Like they I
you're
don't know.
being mean in the chat to me. I don't like you.
I get the feeling that Rosa was just like whatever because she wasn't going to win here.
Oracle, do you want to know why? Or do you want evidence?
Sure.
The AEW Women's World Championship. Introducing the challenger from the graveyards of Tijuana, Mexico.
Enjoy your copyright
Right.
strike.
Oracle's going to feel a certain way about that. No, but that's interesting, isn't it? That footage.
That's what we call the jobbing face. I mean, they just and Britt just
Goalie, you were supposed to look at her face. She wasn't as normally charismatic as she is.
Let's be honest,
yeah. She was.
We've all got gripes with the booking, and rightly, there's things they've done badly here. There is a problem with Britt's work fundamentally. That has been a thing now.
She's got fundamental. It's just the way she doesn't have
her transitions.
She doesn't have the transitions or the zip. You know what I mean?
How often does she find herself like filling dead air with like this just like throwaway forearms? Like she doesn't have any
she doesn't have. There's a foot. There seems to be a footwork issue. Even maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. Like
the matches never flow correctly.
Yeah,
man.
there seems to be a. Look, I'm not a wrestler, but she just seems off.
Oracle, who's better, Britt or Liv Morgan?
I think Liv's better right now.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I said this to Bob earlier. She has like bloodbaths, so that's awesome. But like, I think a lot of the WWE women are much better trained than Brit is, and I'm not like.
Yeah.
Like if you
Brit-
watch the way
Brit
their
seems like
footwork
seems like she's not trained. It seems like she's got fundamental issues. Seriously.
Yeah, which isn't a thing so much with, Anyway, carry on.
It seems like she's not even athletic at times.
I love this show.
So like, it's. I mean, this is. And here's the thing. I'm not even sure it's entirely her fault. Like, when you don't get. First of all, she's only been like 5 or 6 years. She's still young in the business. It's not like she's been there forever. Do you know what I mean? Like, Rosa didn't care, which hurt it terribly. Like, they had all this interference stuff. They did they teased an interference finish. She kicked out. Then they just did it again without another interference. Like, it was a mess. It was at a terrible spot in the car, which didn't help it, right? Though I think they probably did that because they knew Thunder wasn't right. Rosa wasn't winning, so they just put it there. It was just a bad match. Like, a lot of the spots seemed off. Like, oh, by the way, I don't care if Britt Baker blocks me. I don't give a shit. I really do not care. I do not care. Like, people get mad or whatever at me and call me a dork. Fuck off. I don't care. Like, you should worry about other stuff instead of what some fucking dumb dorky fan says. But the but yeah, I mean the match sucked.
So glad
It was bad.
Yeah, I didn't dislike it nearly as much as you, but I think there are some legitimate issues with the way that Britt wrestles out there, like the amount of times it feels like I see her either on, with someone in the corner or on the ropes, like just spraying forearms, like trying to figure out what she's doing next. It's fucking weird, man. Jaychele, I know you very much enjoyed that scathing review from the great Oracle of Wrestling.
Okay.
Do you simply co-sign all of that, or do you have other shots to take about the?
No, I have less shots here, I think. Everybody knows I don't like Brit. That's not a secret on this channel. What I was happy about was that other people saw it too this time, and I felt like it was just me for a little bit. Like I was crazy. Like maybe I just hate Brit too much. Maybe I'm not connecting because I have a lot of spite because of the Bianca stuff. Very spiteful when it comes to Bianca. But
what Bianca stuff?
People think she's better than
Bianca.
Bianca.
The fan stuff. Sorry, yes, sorry. I understand. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. But I just think that the way that she wrestles compared to the rest of the division makes it seem like, why is she the champion here? And when I was watching this match, I was like, Thunder Rosa could be having a match with Chris Statlander for this championship right now, and I would be 1,000,000 times happier. And I feel like there's some issues with, one, how the women's division is being booked, and two, the fact that they pushed Britt because she was the first woman signed, right? Then they decided we're not going to push any other woman because Britt is the star now. So you can't do that.
That's good.
I'm done.
Okay, sorry, I cut you off. That is where it's really interesting. In that the point back to you would be, if we were debating this, I would say, but Britt's the most over woman, and you could very fairly say to that, well, of course she's the most over woman. She's the only one that's on the TV show every week, right? Yeah. And that's where it's kind of this ongoing debate about, I asked it on the Grin on Friday. And I mean this with no disrespect whatsoever. She seems like a wonderful person. But I do not know how good Britt actually is.
Is she one of the person?
I don't know. I just.
I'll tell you later.
I don't want to know. Trust me. I think.
Yes, Demon Grin.
Thunder Rosa. Yeah.
Underwhelmed. Yes.
I like the Athena match. Some people didn't.
Can't relate.
I think that there is a real conversation had about just how good Britt actually is, and how much of it is kind of a manufactured situation. I don't know, Bob, what did you think of the match?
I mean, I kind of figured Britt was going to win because, when we realized that, the St. Patrick's Day thing is in San Antonio and they're billing it kind of as the same as last year, like, okay, they're going to main event with Britt and Thunder Rosa. And, that's fine. I mean, a cage match makes a lot of sense, and I think it'll actually not be bad, but, like, I don't know. You could just.
Why are we slandering Rosa in the chat?
Well, I actually liked Rose's match with Mercedes, but
yeah.
Good God. Put up against fucking Jamie Hayter. Let them have a match and let them fucking fight each other like they can.
That match was good. They had that match. It was good.
But yeah, I mean, it just didn't really click. Again, the placement on the card I don't think helped at all either. But, like, it just felt flat. And that's been a problem. I think the Britt match with Ruby kind of fell flat a little bit. The Britt match with Ty there hasn't really been a defense, I think, that I've truly enjoyed since the Chris Statlander match. Which is
this is okay, Bob.
No, that's about it.
This is a fair question, Josh. I guess what I mean is this a case of the best performer is being pushed, or is it a case of the push has been so strong that it has maybe fooled us somewhat in terms of who is the best performer? I don't have I'm not sitting here trying to make some big hot take on it. I just think there's probably a conversation worth having about building this division around Britt Baker. It's very difficult. She's super over, so I don't know. We'll see.
There's many conversations to have about this division.
On the women's title match. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. We look ahead to another Jaychele controversy. Jon Moxley. This is the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. I loved this match. Absolutely adored it. The violence was there in the perfect way. They did what we kind of predicted on the Grin and had some mat wrestling early. And then they... what happened? Yeah. Well, I'm assuming Athena will be signed, but if not, that's definitely interesting. I adored this. Absolutely loved this match. The way they ramped up the violence as they went, the way that Moxley kind of had to kind of dab Danielson into a striking exchange. The eventual blood where Mox was just leaking. My God, he was pouring. And it was brutal, man. It was awesome. Loved the match. Bob, what did you think?
Yeah, it was great. It's, two guys beating the shit out of each other for 15, 20 minutes, whatever. I think we all were really high on it. I know the three of us and Shoot were at least. It delivered. And it seems like they are actually going to team up after all. Regal coming in was a genuine surprise that I was very excited for. Texted you about it immediately. Just really fired up for that because I love Regal, and I think these two guys can really do something special, especially with him around.
Yeah, we'll circle back to the Regal for sure because that was a big moment. Jaychele, you didn't love this one either, did you? You was full WWF Mecca hater here at this point. What happened?
I like flippy dippy shit. It wasn't flippy dippy shit.
There wasn't any of that here. That's fine. The Oracle of Wrestling.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. As a man that loves blood as well as the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, was this for you, my friend?
It was. I was a little disappointed in the crowd, but I understand why.
Yeah.
They basically worked a blood sport match, right? It was very much like a blood sport match.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminded me of I never saw that match in full, but it kind of reminded me the clips of Barnett and Moxley.
Yeah.
They just bled everywhere, rolled part where when Moxley raked his back, was him? Did he shoot rake Brian's back, or was that just blood pouring onto the back? It looked like he clawed his back. That rolled. I mean, yeah, I like this a whole lot. Probably not quite as much as you did, Joe. But I did like it a good deal. I leapt out of my couch again later on, but we'll get to that point. That was.
We'll get to that. In fact, we'll go there now. I cannot believe that we took this around and around and around and around, and at not one point did we realize how obvious this was. Once it actually happened, it was of course. Regal is so pivotal for both guys.
Mhm.
And the way that he immediately got their respect and like commanded the situation, the way the people reacted to it, this is an all-time great fucking moment. Perfect scenario to bring Regal in. Oracle, carry on where you left off there in terms of your excitement.
So they had the post-match brawl, right? And I actually hated the finish for a second. I actually didn't like it. And I didn't hate it, but I was annoyed with it. And they were brawling. I was like, okay. I was like, well, something's gonna happen. And the fans, you could see the fans like,
Yeah.
I was like, well,
Yes.
somebody's here. I was like, Claudio, somebody's here. Tell you what, when fucking Lord Regal comes walking out there, buddy, I leapt up like I was Shawn Michaels doing his kip up.
Orlando did the same, bro, but they went crazy.
I completely lost my mind. And I went, and I mean, like, he comes in there and it's just, he smacks Moxley and Danielson is howling with laughter. It's amazing. And then he gets smacked. And it's just, let me tell you what, listen. When he comes in, shows up on Dynamite and calls Tony Schiavone Sunshine, starts cutting promos about how they're going to tear apart the whole AEW roster, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. This is the type of shit that is booked specifically for Joe Hobart and I. And this is going to be an incredible run. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited for when the young guys like Garcia and Moriarty and wherever and whoever tries to get in like Regal's face and Regal cuts promos on him and like threatens him and shit, and it's gonna fucking rule. I'm very excited for this. I completely lost my mind.
I'll piggyback on that and say this, Oracle. If you do it right, this is the big angle.
Yeah.
This is the angle that takes over the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of guys that are free agents right now that would fit awful well in this faction. I don't need to name them. You know where I'm going. I've mentioned them very often on this program and others. This was fucking perfect. And when Regal stuck the fucking head in there,
Oh God, got the blood on his. Yes.
Fuck, this ruled.
JR loved it too. That was one thing JR loved.
Fucking Regal, man. It's perfect, right? Bob, did you get as excited as Oracle and I, who seemingly had like an event here while we were watching this?
I did. I love Regal. I'm very excited about, again, where this might be going. They're going to team up or, form a stable, whatever. I've been a big fan of Regal for forever at this point. I mean, he's been a constant presence since I've been watching. And, just a guy that, and we've talked about this before with him specifically, like you can plug him in any role and he's going to succeed. Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited to see what they can do with him here.
Yeah, he's just good pro wrestling, in any which role. Jaychele, I sense this was less exciting for you.
I like Regal not as much as everybody else here, obviously.
Yeah. Fair.
I mean, I hope he does some good stuff with coaching and recruiting. I don't know how well he does with women's matches, but I hope he fixes them.
If it makes you feel any better, he was very, very much helpful for Sasha and Bailey and stuff.
Run that man! That man! Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey guys, are you ready for Blood and Guts? One of the teams to be Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, Samoa Joe, Claudio Castagnoli, and Daniel Garcia? Because I'm pretty ready for that.
Yes, that rules.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
Wait, did you see that?
Yes, speak it into existence as I'm trying to order my food here.
Imagine.
Listen, speak it into existence. Like I said, some people seem to be watching our show and our program.
Yeah.
Speak into existence. Things might happen.
You imagine like Regal doing like the group promo, like Vince Jr. at Survivor Series 01, like rallying the troops and fucking, like Moxley's pacing back and forth. Joe's sweating bullets with a towel around his neck. He's not even done anything yet. Jaychele, your hand has been raised again.
I have one way that Garcia and Moriarty aren't included in this. Or you could still include them and do it anyway. Have them in the finals of the Owen Hart tournament at Double or Nothing.
There you go.
Their first pay-per-view. I will fucking cry. It's going to be my favorite match of the year. I won't give a fuck about anything else on the card. Like,
Fair. Yeah, this is very exciting. Very, very exciting. Okay. We look ahead. Bob has left the program. Up next, we have Oracle's next triumph, I would say. Darby Allin, Sammy, and Sting over the AHFO. The Oracle of Wrestling claimed on Friday night that Sting would do a balcony spot in this match, and I'm almost certain I told him there was no way that was going to happen, or at least downplayed it some. He did not only do a balcony spot, he did one through like 8 tables.
Let me run through this, okay? If you don't mind.
Mhm.
They were brawling. First of all, Darby just lights up, just wipes out Andrade hard over the ropes. Well, tell you something. Andrade didn't care for it much. Something happened. Because let me tell you something, brother. He took a steel chair, and that dude swung it like a baseball bat.
I gotta rewatch it now.
He swung it like a second grader trying to swing at a baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I thought he was going to kill Darby with it.
Wait,
He literally swung him so violently. It's probably one of the most violent chair shots I've seen in years.
wait, Oracle, you're describing this like you're a commentator and like you're looking back at the match. You know, like the WWE documentaries where they go like and they explain that.
Yes,
This is what's
Oracle.
happening right now, and I
Fucking
love
rule.
this. I love this.
And so they're doing all this crazy stuff, and then Jose just gets murdered and all this stuff. It's incredible. Then they begin crawling, and then they begin brawling in the crowd. And I thought somebody's going to do a balcony dive. Darby, Cassidy, somebody will do it. Then it became apparent Butcher and the Blade are setting up this table. Oh, somebody's going to take a table bomb. So they're all brawling over there.
Eric, you can't
And
just say the Butcher and
Sting.
the Blade. You can't just say they beat the fuck out of these guys, man.
And like the realization was incredible because like I think who was it? Was it Dar or like first of all, Sammy Guevara and Isaiah Cassidy do a Spanish fly spot where they literally almost decided to just jump the bridge and literally missed the thing entirely. They
That
almost
made my
died.
day.
Yeah,
They literally
that was
almost died.
scary. That was actually scary.
It was
Made
very
my day.
scary. It was actually kind of concerning, and they probably
It
should never
fucking
do something like that
ruled. It
ever
was-
again. Or
yeah.
ruled, but it was. I
Mhm.
mean,
I love that Cassidy does crazy shit too.
He's really fun, by the way.
Yeah.
Really fun.
I mean, it was actually deeply concerning because if they go half a foot further, Cassidy hits his lower back on the edge of the ramp,
Yes.
and it's bad.
Mhm.
It was a great spot, but my God, was it scary?
Yeah, they missed a table.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was frightening.
It just
So like 2 minutes later, they're up brawling in there, and Darby sort of vanishes from the. I thought, wait a minute, Sting's the only one there. And I thought, this can't be true. And I began
can't be true.
screaming. This was the loudest celebration for me of the night. Regal might have been louder, but I was literally leaping and screaming and yelling. Sting balances himself on the balcony and does a fucking New Jack balcony dive through 4 tables, and literally, I mean, it literally was like boom. I mean, it looked brutal.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's a video of the fan taking it, and it's like it looks even crazier from that angle. Like, this ruled, man. This was
fucking awesome.
Yes, this was like. It's funny. The crowd had tired down after Punk MJF, and Regal brought him back up, and then these guys kept him there.
Mhm.
This ruled, man.
It really
This
did.
ruled.
Tope, I have opted not to taunt Bob yet because the third quarter is still dangerous territory. I've seen the Sixers blow enough leads. Let's take it easy. Let's wait about 40 more minutes and we'll probably have a victory lap to take at Bob's expense.
No, I'm sorry that Tristan Thompson and Tony Bradley can't stop Embiid when no one else in the Bulls have been able to stop him his whole career either.
That seemed like you were lashing out a little bit, Bob.
I knew
So,
what was
all
going to happen. The Bulls aren't good anymore.
All right, mate. You don't have to get hot about it. Did you enjoy this, Bob? The big
I did,
Sting? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really enjoy watching Sting. I think
Hot take.
yeah, I know, right?
No, you're right. Go ahead.
And he's kind of like, it's different with Punk, but I'm glad he's getting this run too to kind of like cement it, because he deserved it. He deserved to not go out being injured and whatever. And I mean, it's crazy that he's done some of the stuff he's done, including this, but like, this match is great because it feels like a classic, like cool down match, right? And then instead they just go 100 miles an hour for 10 minutes or whatever, and it was awesome.
Yeah. Greatly exceeding expectations. Also produced one of the funniest moments tonight when Matt Hardy inexplicably decided that he didn't want to take the coffin drop and instead like rolled on his side.
Took a headbutt.
Yeah, it was interesting. Jaychele, what did you think of this one?
I was exactly going to say the same thing with the coffin drop, but I liked Darby's entrance at the beginning.
How about that?
I remember when Sean said that they were recording like the special stunt or whatever for like Darby's day off, and I'm guessing that this might have been what it was. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, whatever. I think the entrance was super cool. I remember saying that I probably wasn't going to like this match. I remember when we rated our excitement for this or whatever, and I think I rated this pretty low, and I walked out being very excited. My boyfriend didn't understand how old Sting was, so once I said it, he was like, "Oh, fucking shit," which is exactly how I reacted as well. But yeah, this was a great time for me.
He's actually old, man.
As Alex Pawlowski said, this man was born in the Eisenhower administration.
You know what I was thinking about was like when Matt Hardy became a big deal in wrestling, Sting was like, you could have argued at that point that Sting was on the slide. It was like 22 years ago. It's fucking ridiculous. By the way, how fun was it watching Sting always find Matt? Because he trusted Matt not to kill him. And just brothering around out there, throwing punches and stuff. Man, it was just fun. I want to quickly go back to Super Grin. Bro Prime says, it's crazy that the one woman's match show rule was completely frozen. It's completely frozen. Sheeta, Deeb, Britt Rosa feud. I agree. The pacing of those feuds is very much hindered by that. And I think they think sometimes that the pre-tapes keep them moving. But I think, we've talked about this before. I don't think they're as effective as they believe they are.
There's a under 5 minute women's match on Rampage. You cannot convince me.
The Serena thing is, yeah. It's kind of an excuse to not, I understand that definitely. I quickly want to circle back. Do we think there's a chance Danielson and Mox are winning these tag titles next? Because, like, in his first promo, Brian took a shot at the dinosaur.
That'd be cool.
And it feels like it could be a thing they do. Jaychele, what do you think?
Are you saying that because I made a bunch of faces?
Yeah, you seem like you were lashing out.
I mean, I don't really care.
Okay.
I want Santana and Ortiz. I'm still stuck on that, so I can't get over that, really.
And that's fair. Bob, was you gonna add something?
No, I'm cool with it. I was actually looking up a little bit earlier. Has there been like any Mox and King interaction since Mox came back? Or okay, yeah.
It would be interesting if John Moxley at some point pitches the addition of Eddie Kingston to their faction and Brian gets really mad about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because Eddie doesn't take it seriously and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Oracle, how do you feel about the, Regal's fucking murderers winning the tag titles potentially?
That would rule. Sorry, I was distracted because I just used a monstrous amount of money for Uber Eats, but then I remembered I got some money that came into my account. Wink, wink. So I feel not too bad.
Wait, hang on, hold the phone. Was that simply a reference to the Late Night Grin? Because you certainly made it seem like we were doing something that was illegal.
Yes, it was. It was.
Oh my god!
The best part was that the best part was that when I winked, I just blinked twice. So it was even funny.
Good God.
You made it. I was sitting here like, wait, what did I do? Did we do something illegal?
No, folks. I was referencing the Late Night Grants. Fine, I promise.
Yeah.
I say some stupid shit sometimes, but
no, that was funny. It's very funny.
I was just concerned about the money, but yes, listen, this tag team situation. Look, I'm gonna lose my mind. This is the thing I'm looking forward to the most.
Somebody clip that.
I'm gonna lose my mind. Yeah. Yeah, fair.
Good God.
Yeah, it's gonna roll, man.
I hope they
do this like I want this every week. Some kind of update on this. Like give me the traditional US wrestling pacing on this program, this angle with the Regal stuff. Like I don't want it to be patient. I want to just see fucking these guys in some form or fashion every week. Give me something.
So imagine this. Think of the trios matches we could get. Claudio.
Oh God.
Danielson, Moxley.
Good Lord.
Death Triangle. Trios.
RK Bro just won the tag titles back.
Wow.
Really?
That is weird, right?
Really?
So they're just gonna wrestle for them again at the Mania, I guess.
Yeah.
Moonsault RKO. Moonsault RKO to Gable.
Yeah,
What
they did the Evan Bourne spot.
My God, well, that rules.
Yeah, that's well done.
Randy fucking rules, man. I wish he would wrestle Eddie Kingston in AEW. That would fucking rule, wouldn't it, Oracle?
Dude, that match would rule, and I bet Randy put him over.
Could you imagine like Randy working like the arm or something, and fucking King throws one chop, and Randy does the big fucking Jake Roberts sell?
Oh the that he does like when McIntyre topped him. Remember that?
Yeah, I don't think he loved those matches.
No.
Getting the shit kicked out of him in the Thunderdome. God bless him. Randy Orton not leaving in 2019 is like a big I get why no one else cares, but it pops me huge to imagine what that would have looked like. I just think it would have been interesting.
Did you know Brock was going to retire after he lost to Drew McIntyre?
I didn't, but that, I offer that dude a lot of money, man. I think he's going to be around for a long time. Anyway, the main event is here. This one is going to be...
Did you see Bob's grin there?
No, I didn't. I'm happy for Bob. The main event, this is going to be very divisive. We're going to do the opposite of what we did on the Punk match. We're going to start with Oracle, who described this to me. I believe the exact quote was the 11th best match on the card. And he didn't say it was bad, that's just to be clear, you wasn't burying
I'm going on my phone.
You wasn't as high on this as Jaychele as I sense, Bob. Oracle, go ahead, Oracle.
Well, look. Here's what I'll say. The crowd seemed to be with him. They worked hard. It was approaching NXT 1.0 levels in terms of length, but they didn't quite stretch that limit for me. To me, Adam Cole didn't show me anything. To me, he's just one note. It doesn't seem like he has the ability to connect certain things in matches. He's clearly he clearly works his style very well for what he does. But for me, it's just not for me. I don't think he's somebody who needs to be in the main event scene constantly. I think he should be more like Jericho was in WWF, where he just kind of goes in the mid card and then comes back occasionally. I think it's a better position for him because I think his style is not. I think he's just not dynamic enough in the ring. As much as I slam Kenny Omega, Omega's far more dynamic than Adam Cole is. It was just your turn, my turn. Some of the spots look great. He always timed his super kick, counter very well. Hangman doing the dead eye. He's lucky that was somebody's gonna tell him. Some producer, somebody listen, Hangman, brother.
Yeah.
You're a world champion. We don't want you to tear your tear your entire knee apart for something like that. That was scary. I was actually concerned for a second.
Me too.
The match was not bad. It was good. It was solid. I don't. Cole just doesn't. He has a ceiling for me, and I can't look past that. And I don't think Paige is a veteran enough to work beyond that. The best Cole match I've seen, like that Danielson match that Cole had the week before, the week of the Saudi Arabia kidnapping,
Fiasco.
whatever it was. Yeah, fiasco. Kind of was. Like that match was excellent. That's because Brian was a veteran and knew how to rein him in. Paige is not good enough to do that yet. Look, the match was not bad by any means at all. It wasn't for me. Like it didn't show me any different side of Adam Cole. Like nor did I really expect one. I will say it was not as bad as I thought I was going to be, nor was it as long as I thought it was going to be. It just was not. It just wasn't for me. It was a weak main event overall for me, but I also don't think it was an abject failure or anything absurd like that. It didn't click for me.
That's fair. Bob, what about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same place. A little bit shorter than I thought it would be, but just kind of felt like a 2019 NXT Adam Cole title match, complete with Kyle and Bobby coming out and causing some disruption. It was fine. I'm ready for what's next for Hangman. We got through it, and it wasn't bad. But also I kind of went into it thinking I wasn't going to like it, so that could play a part here. That's the other thing.
I have to be honest, and I'm not doing a bit when I say this. I actually thought this was really good. What really amazed me about this match was the heat in the building. This match was more over live than just about everything else other than the opener, quite frankly.
Yeah.
These people were fucking hot. And I know people were getting mad about the Adam thing. That's how modern crowds are. They entertain themselves.
Yeah.
But with that being said, if you listen to the reactions to near falls and the general kind of, the investment was there, and I'll be totally transparent. I didn't expect that. Shoot said to me that he felt this could have a special atmosphere, and I didn't shit on him for saying that, but I did in my head. I thought he's going to be wrong. I thought people were going to be exhausted and not care that much. I completely misread the situation in that regard. It was over huge live. Considering that it had been in there for 4 hours, I thought it was actually kind of stunning, however it was. I don't disagree with Oracle. I didn't leave this match saying, oh my God, Adam Cole's a different wrestler than I first, thought. I think that would be silly. I will say, though, that I thought he laid his shit in a way that he hasn't in AEW yet. You mentioned the super kicks. His kicks, I think we've all been able to agree, even if you love Adam Cole, his AEW work so far, he's been pretty soft in there. Mm-hmm. Well, Hangman was beating the shit out of him early on. He had no choice.
Hangman, I will say this about Hangman. He works, he's not a light worker by any means. Yeah. You're going to have to bring it, when it comes to that.
Yes. Also, Reese brings up Pride Colors in Florida. Fucking ruled. A great representative of not just that brand, but professional wrestling in general. Hangman is that dude. And the other thing, the big thing I'll comment on, and I'm not saying this is a classic or my favorite match or anything, brother, they actually got me very concerned on that near fall there down the stretch, and I didn't see that coming. So I had a good time with it. I thought it was a damn good main event. Jaychele, this was your favorite match of the night, right?
It definitely was. I was tired. I was bored. I was almost falling asleep by the time we got to this match. I heated up my pizza. I was ready to go, and the match delivered for me. I predicted this would be an NXT match, an Adam Cole NXT match, and that's exactly what I got. I was very excited. I don't think I live tweeted much because I was very excited. I have a page full of notes about this match because it made me very excited. I was very happy while this match was happening. I like Cole more than most people do. To be fair, that's
you like him more than us.
There you go.
Most people like Adam Cole. They don't have to feel bad.
Most people do. Most people do.
It's in my room. It was a microwave. Sorry. But while I was watching this match, I was able to bite a little bit on some of the pinfalls here. Mainly because I went in with the Adam wins. I was fine regardless. So I was very excited to see how little regard both of these men had for their health. They were both doing that wild shit that I love. Oh my God. The dead eye on the fucking floor. Lost my mind. I was very excited. Cole's like when they told the story with his knee pad not being all the way off, so like Paige kicked out. Loved that shit for me. There was like an avalanche Spanish fly that they did from the top rope that like I know I saw a bunch of Spanish flies, but that one was my favorite. Not fair. Second favorite. I like the one off the light thing. Yeah. That's not fair. But I think that Cole teasing the sweet chin music thing for me too. I like that a lot. The ode to Sean as well. And the Panama Sunrise from the apron to the floor was enjoyable as well.
How much? Because this always interests me. So, like, Oracle had a criticism in the match that I would co-sign, but Oracle and I both, we're built different, right, Oracle? You said they were taking turns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing, Jaychele, the big part of why you like this match was because they never settled into one particular momentum shift. It was always going back and forth.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, and that's
my favorite part of matches, though, is when they go back and forth. I like the one after the other.
That's why
attention span low. Boom, 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 boom.
But that's why it's great, doing this is because I think if Oracle and I reviewed this show on our own, we may not even consider the fact that to some people that's better. Because I'm like you, Oracle. I mean, I completely get your criticism, and I think it's your criticism. That's the whole point of this. But yeah, I'm glad you loved the match. I did like it a lot too. Let's put a bow on Revolution. Oracle, you described this show in our chat as you said it may be their strongest in-ring show yet. Upon fall, are you kind of solid on that take? Because the more I thought about it, I think there's some truth to that, man. I really do.
I think it might be, yeah. Like in terms of historical, I don't think it touches All Out, right? In 2021, I think a lot of shows probably won't touch that.
Just different. So many different circumstances.
Yeah.
It's different, right?
But I think in terms of, I think it was a better show than Full Gear was, and I liked Full Gear. But in terms of just in-ring, the only show I've never seen from AEW pay-per-view was actually Revolution 2020, which I know is a very highly praised show. Yes. I've never seen it. I'm sure I would give the Young Bucks versus Page and Omega 3.25 star.
Yes.
But the the in-ring top to bottom was excellent. There was one bad match, which I mean, it's hard to not have a bad match sometimes, and it was even that doesn't concern me because I still think that they're possible cage match in a few weeks if hopeful, and we throw our fantasy booking and hope that it works, into the existence could still deliver. But I mean, yeah, this was excellent from top to bottom. Just a really good in-ring show. The Orlando crowd was not great. I don't think they were as bad as some people were saying they were.
I didn't either. I thought it was a little much on social. I gotta say.
Yeah. It could be it could be a production thing or whatever. Like, it's also a 4-hour show, which I agree with Shoot, but I also agree with others like our buddy Tape Machines that I just prefer the solid 2:45.
Yeah,
but I get it. You think the money's worth is more for $50. I'd pay for $50 for a great 3-hour show.
I think the key though, and Tape, this isn't me reference to him because we love Tape, so he would know this, but I'm talking generally. Don't we all agree the key is that it's good, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the 4th hour, when Sting was diving off the balcony, I don't think any of us were looking at our watches, right? It's the content is the key. The crowd thing was fascinating, Oracle, because you mentioned, in absolute fairness to the crowd, at one point, 3 of 4 matches had 6 men in it, and the other one had an Eddie Kingston, Chris Jericho thing that they were red hot for. They're gonna get tired, man. It is what it is. I honestly thought they were pretty damn good. Bob, final thoughts on Revolution?
Yeah, I thought it was a good show. A lot of really solid in-ring action. I thought it was well paced too. We talked about the 4-hour stuff earlier, and to defend the crowd, 4 hours when you're in the building is a lot different than 4 hours when you're watching in the cinema or at home.
Yeah,
so I do get that. But as far as watching at home, I thought it was really well paced. I I don't really have too many complaints other than the ones we kind of outlined. Like, I think they had a lot of hits. The stuff that I thought was going to be good was very good. The stuff that, I was excited for was very good. And the stuff I didn't think I was going to like, a couple of them exceeded my expectations a little bit. But, like, even if you only liked, what were there, 12 matches, I would say I liked at least 7 or 8 of them. That's a good average.
Jaychele, final thoughts on Revolution?
I think this is second in ring for me. I think I liked Full Gear more, mainly because of that MJF and Darby match. I think that's one of my favorite matches I've seen in a long time. But the Cole and Page match is so far, I'd say, top 3 for my match of the year already. I was very excited for that match. I was sad. I'm still very sad about all of the women's stuff. I wish I could talk to Tony because I have a couple issues because you put one woman's match, another woman's match. Dude.
Following Punk MJF was a choice.
No, that's mean. But I can just only stay hopeful for Rosa, I guess. I hope Britt takes some time off. Because I need some time off for my Brit slander as well. So that would be helpful if she would leave for a bit. So then when she comes back, I'll have some new talking points.
That's fair, folks. I think we're headed to CM Punk versus Hangman Page in Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena. And you talk about big fight feel. When they roll in there with 20,000 people in Vegas for CM Punk, Hangman Page, I'm convinced that's where we're going. I don't think you can put it off anymore, man. Punk alluded to the title when he first started this feud with MJF, and he just beat him. So if that's where they go, Oracle, we're in for a time, right? That's going to be something.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to fall asleep early.
We will cover all of that stuff and more here in the coming weeks, if that is indeed what happens, or if it doesn't, we'll talk about it. This has been a Revolution review, just a touch over 2 hours. A lot to talk about. We had a great time. Jaychele, please do some promotions and all that good stuff.
I forgot we'd do this. I really thought you were just about to end the show. I was very ready. I've been Jaychele. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Jaychele Nicole, JayCheleNicole. I have lukewarm takes on there sometimes. I'm now writing for SE Scoop, so if you want to read my stuff over there, you can go do that. That's cool. I do news and results and whatever. Patreon.com/Jaychele. All of my exclusive content. There is a Darius Lockhart interview that is unedited up there right now. If you want to check that out, it is probably one of my favorite interviews that I've ever done. So definitely go watch that. Also, go watch the AEW Revolution prediction show, even though you know that we're wrong, but it's doing good on my channel. So go watch it. Jaychele Nicole on YouTube.
So you see that? I come on, does well.
Joe.
Huh? I've been told that a lot.
Joe, it did better than the Big Swole interview did. And Tasha Steelz. So
what do you want from me? That's what
I'm giving you credit.
I know. All I'm saying is, like, were you surprised? What do you want me to do? Like,
Joe, just be grateful I'm putting you over.
Yeah, I'm used to it. Bob, promotions and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Robert O'Neill31. I believe tomorrow night we're back for AEW Dark, as long as Shoot's around. Late Night Grin is back on Friday, as long as we can all get along for the rest of the week. Next week, after the St. Patrick's Day big event, I will be on the Dynamite post show for the first time, maybe only time ever, because I'm not going to be on Late Night Grin next week. So look forward to that. And yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes.
You said not. Can I fill in for Bob?
Yes, you can.
Do I have to do all 4 hours though?
I mean, no. I feel like a bit of an arsehole if I said yes to that. Right? That would be mean.
I'll do like 2, and we'll see if I can go from there.
The Rampage review. When we start talking about like 90s, when Oracle starts explaining
So
no, we'll talk about the WCW matches, and then we'll.
There you go. We'll do that.
There you go. There you go. That's next week, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what we'll do. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. We'll figure that out.
This Friday, you're going to get about an hour of the Oracle on the Grin because I'll be at my folks.
Okay.
And you have to be careful because you don't want Papa Hales popping in too much. Even if he's watching, he'll laugh if he's watching right now.
Fair.
You don't want him popping in there too much. But really, I just I don't want to be on a 4-hour
Oracle.
show while I'm at my folks.
That's
But
fair.
I'll be on for a little bit.
Oracle, you know he asked me if I thought you were hot with your haircut. Did you see that comment before?
Wow. Well, absolutely. He's hot. Look at him. He looks great. Oracle, promote yourself.
Thank you, Joe. But Thursday we will have the historical oracle. I got some critical viewing done this afternoon as I was doing laundry. I have a handful of shows left to do. I should be prepared. It'll be tight, but I should get things done. Thursday, January 1996, the Rumble, Clash of the Champions, ECW House Party, lots to talk about. And of course, like I said, I will be there on the Grin, not for the whole show, but for a little bit. So,
Juice in the chat, man. He's watching this content. That's a pop.
Jesus Christ!
Thank God we didn't bury him, huh? That'd have been brutal.
Anyways, yes.
Okay, folks, I will be back at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday, TEW Tuesday, over on the Patron, latenightgrin.com. We've missed a week once again, so we've got some catching up to do. I don't know what's going on over there. We'll catch up quickly. The AEW Doc Grin Along, as Bob referenced. Wednesday, Dynamite Preview, Dynamite Review. Thursday, the Historical Oracle. Friday, the Free Agents. Tony Storm is the subject this week. And then the Late Night Grin with 1 hour of the Oracle of Wrestling. So much going on here at the Grin. And also, Jaychele knows where I'm going with this. Maybe even some other stuff this week, right? Exciting times here in the Grinverse.
Oh, I forgot for a second, and I was like, what is he talking about?
I've even got a feature on the way. A feature that I did the latest draft of in my notes on my iPhone at about 6 a.m. So it's a hell of a time to be a Grinner, folks. We'll be back here tomorrow with much content behind the paywall. And then on this channel, Wednesday, Dynamite Preview, Dynamite Review. You can sign up, latenightgrin.com. You can follow us on Twitter now at Late Night Grin. All hail. Speak soon, folks, and enjoy the outro. Here we go. Here it comes.